I had a few requests for this video, but typically in astrology, the sign on the 7th house and the planet that rules that sign provide a lot of information about marriage and spouse. Since we don't have a confirmed birth time for Taehyung, we don't have access to his 7th house. So I'm gonna do my best to provide you information about his marriage and future spouse based on the information that we do have. We're going to mainly focus on the condition of his moon, but also touch on his Venus and Juno placements too. Taehyung's moon represents his anima, or his image of the female archetype he is subconsciously attracted to. His Aries moon attracts him towards assertive and masculine or yang female energy, those that initiate, lead, and have a certain strength to their personality. Aries is a fire sign, so his emotionality and internal psyche is fed through fire energy, which is associated with challenge, conflict, competition, and action. So someone with a lot of fire in their chart would be able to feed his emotional needs. Fire signs include Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius. A natal chart is like a blueprint of your life trajectory based on the lessons and experiences you're meant to have. I see the natal chart as a map of your soul. The difficulties shown in his chart indicate the consequences of his past karma. The natural talents or skills he has already established in previous lives, and the types of relationships and encounters are presented in his path for him to learn lessons, solve past karma, or reap the rewards of good karma. Taehyung has a lot of difficult karma to work out in this lifetime, as shown by his Capricorn stellium. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn in astrology is often associated with karmic lessons. His Saturn shows where he would face most challenges, obstacles, and limitations in his life. Saturn is like the manager of all his Capricorn planets, so it's always involved in whatever those planets are up to. His moon is square to most of his planets in Capricorn. Square aspects in the chart are also indicative of karmic work that needs to be worked out. His moon being involved in multiple square aspects shows that he needs to work out that karma through his relationships with women and the public in general. He's likely to learn emotional regulation and impulse control through these relationships, which include his marriage. His spouse will challenge him to control his emotions and reactions so that he can learn patience, compassion, and sensitivity to other people's needs and point of views. His moon is also conjunct to the South Node, which shows a spouse with whom he has a past life connection with. My astrology teacher says that the South Node tends to break connections, and its contact with the moon to me suggests a divorce or a possibility of a second marriage. But of course, we would need to look at the condition of his 7th house to see if that is the case for him. His moon is positioned anywhere from 17 degrees to 29 degrees of Aries, depending on his birth time. So these positions put his moon in a definite square aspect to Mars, which is its ruler, the ruler of Aries, and Neptune. His moon squares Mercury and Uranus as well if he was born after 8 a.m. This places a lot of strain on his moon as it's being challenged from different directions, which suggests a lot of internal turmoil and emotional conflict, but also indicate conflicts in his relationship with his spouse. Aries moon shows a wife that is energetic, assertive, and active. She would have a strong personality and can possess a more aggressive or confrontational nature, especially with moon's square aspect to Mars. Mars is a planet associated with war, action, and aggression. Aries is a fiery sign ruled by the planet Mars, so its square aspect to Mars adds more masculine or assertive qualities to his spouse's characteristics. But it's not like out of control assertiveness or aggression. She would be very much in control, as Mars is in Capricorn, which is a very grounded, practical, and steadfast earth sign. She would be strategic and prudent. She would possess a good balance of idealism and realism. The fire and earth combination allows her to trust her intuition and turn her ideas into reality through hard work and stamina. She would be entrepreneurial and likely to run her own business or be her own boss. She's extroverted and typically not shy, but the moon's conjunction with the South Node can isolate her after she marries Taehyung. For whatever reason, she's likely to separate herself from the woman in her life, like family members or female friends, as the South Node denotes disconnect and the moon is representative of woman. Taehyung's Venus in Aquarius shows his wife can be a bit detached and distant. He's definitely attracted to a woman that tends to be cool, cold, and aloof, like an ice queen type of an archetype. His moon square Neptune shows he has high idealization information about women in marriage. This is especially true with asteroid Juno's exact conjunction to Neptune, which we will discuss more in detail later. Neptune energy is elusive, so he can be unconsciously attracted to unattainable women or those that are emotionally unavailable. Neptune also means that he seeks emotional nourishment and a sense of unconditional love from the spouse. But the square aspect indicates lack or difficulty in receiving that kind of nourishment. Aries and Aquarius are two signs that are very independent. Aries is naturally self-focused and self-motivated, and Aquarius needs freedom and autonomy. Although him and his spouse will likely to share similar goals and ambitions in life in a larger sense, the wife will maintain a strong sense of individuality. She will have her own interests, her own work, and place her own sense of identity a priority before she identifies as Taehyung's wife. But this could manifest very differently if, for example, his seventh house is in a sign like Libra, which is a sign focused on others and relationships. Then her sense of identity would be based on her relationship with Taehyung. But the moon square Mars will likely bring challenges in their marriage. This challenge would revolve around them not letting each other win. Although on a lighter note, they could enjoy friendly banters and healthy competition, it can sway to the other side of explosive arguments and fights where neither of them backs down. But the conflict can be exhilarating for both of them as they need to lash out once in a while in order to de-stress or as an expression of passion. Fights and arguments energize them, but they are not likely to hold on to their anger or frustration for extended periods of time. They can easily move on and forgive one another. There is a quality of quick blowouts, but just as quick cool-offs with Aries. A healthy expression of anger in his marriage is important for Taehyung. His moon square to Mars would have exposed him to suppression of anger in early life. There could have been unexpressed rage in his parents' marriage or in his home or work environment. On bad days, Taehyung's wife can be emotionally volatile or quick to anger, but on good days, she's likely to be fiercely protective of Taehyung. Mars' square aspect to Neptune can show Taehyung's difficulty with grasping or understanding his wife to her core. There are qualities of elusiveness, detachment, and maybe even emotional coldness that he senses on a more subconscious level that he can't quite understand or intellectualize. With Neptune, there is a general sense of confusion, but he actually absorbs others' emotional psyches on a subconscious level. He can feel his spouse's emotions, but for him, it's like he experiences them as his own. He would have to be very evolved and aware in order to be able to distinguish what is his and what is his spouse's feeling. His spouse can experience depression or a general sense of melancholy with this aspect. Although on the exterior she's strong, courageous, and fearless, she can be very sensitive. Oh, and Neptune is associated with film, so if its aspect to the moon is close or in a tight orb, she could be an actress. If Taehyung is born after 8 a.m. and has the moon square Mercury aspect, this can suggest a wife that is talkative. She would be a communicator or a storyteller, providing Taehyung details of her daily happenings and her observations. Their marriage is likely to be filled with a lot of conversations. Also, this aspect can show a spouse that has sisters rather than brothers, according to astrologer Sue Tompkins in her Aspects in Astrology book. The wife can be the eldest or an only child with strong Aries and Mars energies too. Mercury is also associated with the voice, the throat, and singing, so she can definitely be a singer. Communication, writing, or the media in general can be an indication of the type of work she does. The moon square Uranus aspect is congruent to his Aquarius Venus energy. This would suggest that the spouse would have a rebellious spirit and strongly value her own sense of individuality. She needs freedom and space in her marriage. Their marriage or domestic life can be non-conventional, far away from traditional family structure or lifestyle. Examples could be a lot of travel and not getting to spend a lot of time together, or even one or more separations and breakups during their marriage. Uranus represents a lot of change and unpredictability. To lead a home life that is same from day to day, to settle into a routine or a predictable future can feel suffocating for the spouse. She needs change, excitement, and adventure from time to time in order to be happy. This feeds her energetic needs. His Juno and Capricorn show his serious approach to love, relationships, and marriage. Taehyung and his spouse likely value long-term commitment and stability and share similar goals and ambition. Juno's exact conjunction to Neptune suggests a deep, idealized notion of romance. Taehyung is likely to seek spiritual connections and envisions his future spouse to be perfect or a transcendent being. He's drawn to partnerships that have a strong emotional and soulful resonance, like soulmates and karmic connections. However, this idealization can easily lead to disappointment, as the reality of relationships or marriage is difficult to match his fantasies. This context shows a spouse that also seeks romantic connections with spiritual or metaphysical dimension. She's likely to romanticize love and believe in higher connections like twin flames and soulmates, and she can deepen Taehyung's interest in spirituality and spiritual understanding. It's highly likely their relationship and marriage will have spiritual undertones, but it also means that their connection will test them and push their limits and capabilities. That's it, guys. I hope you still found a lot of information in this reading, even with a limited birth chart. I appreciate your view, and I hope to see you again.